Mean girls. We're all familiar with the phrase these days. It represents those who use their words, attitudes, or actions to hurt others. If you have a daughter who is nearing the junior high age or is a little bit older, she may have experiences as a victim or an aggressor of this behavior. But there is a way to help our daughters avoid or correct the negative social impact that is so pervasive today. Here to assist us with the process is psychologist Dr. Barbara Becker Holstein. She's the author of The Truth, I'm a Girl, I'm Smart, and I Know Everything. Hello there.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
I'm so glad you're here.
And I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. I have a tween coming up.
Yes.
So she is approaching this, and she's already starting to have a few of these issues. Starting to happen a lot earlier than it used to, I think, maybe.
Definitely.
Right?
Definitely.
With the technology and information, everyone knowing things so early, lots of these things starting earlier. So why don't you tell me what a tween is and why are they classified as such?
Well, typically we think of tweens between 8 and 12, sometimes 13 rolling into 14. And they're classified as such because they're going to middle schools or junior highs where they're being exposed to so much pre-adolescent and adolescent behavior and attitudes. And it's kind of a new classification.
So they're growing up faster than we might have.
For sure.
Right?
Definitely.
Way too fast.
Way too fast to handle everything that's hitting them.
So right there in itself is good for the parents just to even hear that, to know that it's not like it used to be. It's very different today.
Yes, and the media's playing in, advertising's playing in, the way they dress, the way they see themselves, what they want to copycat from the movie stars and the starlets. It's a whole new world, and we have to be sympathetic.
Got it. Now, are there tween boys and tween girls? Or is there a difference between the two?
Boys still develop emotionally slower, and some of us women realize that over the years. So they're into different things, but they also are being pitched, and they're much more into computer games and involved with certain activities that draw them away from the family.
Oh.
You know, so there are issues too.
So there is, but they're just a little different, set of issues.
Right.
Okay. Now, what are some clear signs that my tween is either a victim or an aggressor? Because they could be either.
Sure. And we don't like to think of it, but that's true. Now, if your daughter is becoming a victim, you may see her withdrawing. You may see the girl that always laughed in the car hysterically when you were on road trips and stuff is suddenly sullen. You may see her running up to her bedroom. She may cry for no clear reason. You may hear her on the phone and then abruptly she gets off. Maybe someone hangs up on her. You know, you've got to stay alert. On the other hand, if she's an aggressor, you may see her angry. You may have let's say you have kids over, you see that she is saying mean things that are not necessary. You can't block it out just because it's your own kid.
So maybe be a little fly on the wall sometimes when they have friends over. Listen from around the corner and see what kind of behavior.
Because she may be triggering and stimulating negative stuff that hurts other girls. And we don't, you know, you want to catch that too.
Wow. Now, how would I discuss that with them? At what point would I get involved and start talking to them about that?
Well, sometimes there are clear markers, like the marks start to deteriorate, a teacher calls, homework isn't coming in, something else happens, the kid drops out of a sport she's doing. You know, there could be a real signal. Sometimes it's more subtle, and you just start to get a feeling, so you start to just talk and try to be a good listener. You may or may not get information. You're going to have to see where your child goes with the first discussion.
And it depends on each child, because some are very free with how they, you know, share their information, and others a little more closed, not into sharing with mom and dad so much.
But you always have the right to go into the school and have an extra conference with the teacher. Sometimes you can ask, or certainly to speak to the guidance counselor. And you can get a sense. And if there's nothing going on, then there's nothing going on. So you're just an alert parent, and you have to see if anything else comes up later.
Okay, so if I'm starting to see some of this weird behavior, it's really, I need to get involved. I need to maybe do something. Don't sit back and don't do do
You should not sit back.
Never do that. So maybe make a call to the guidance counselor or the principal or somebody who has a relationship in the school with the child, and maybe get a little information as to what may be going on over there then.
Yes. You know, I wouldn't say the first time anything happens, but you start to stay alert. And if anything is dramatic, yes, right away.
So paying attention really is just, you know, like being aware, like you said, the good listener, just kind of stepping back a little bit and seeing what's going on. Just pay attention.
That's for sure. That is your biggest thing. And that's what your girl wants too. She wants a mother who listens to her and is aware of her.
I love that. I
Not
love that.
someone that's avoiding her.
Or
turning her
lecturing or this and that.
Right.
Listening to them.
Exactly. And one of the things I reinforce in my book is that the mothers need to listen. If your child is asking something or telling you something, that's not the time when you turn away and you walk away. You've got to make time at that moment.
I like that. And these are such crucial times for girls in the changing of their lives that, you know, it's key that the mom really stays involved and in touch and communicating
And they
with
want
the
the mother to answer the questions. They
do.
don't want to have to go to a neighbor to know when they're going to need a bra.
Well,
you know.
I like that. Right, exactly. Your mom.
You know, they want to know from the mother.
So moms need to really be stepping up here.
And they
too.
want to feel they can have a wonderful, good time with their own parents.
Sure. Oh, I like that. I'm getting teary-eyed just thinking about it. Now, what about children ultimately learning the behaviors from their parents?
Exactly. Well, this is critical for both victim and aggressor. If I have a potential to be a victim and my parents are very ineffectual, they don't know how to say something, they don't know how to ask, they don't know how to get the education they need, whatever's going on for them, and I see them kind of stumbling. I'm not getting a good role model. They may have tremendous issues and they're legitimate, but still they're not giving me the role models I need. So I'm going to be weaker when I have to approach a kid to get her off my back or whatever in the appropriate way. On the other hand, if my parents are aggressors and they're constantly fighting, they're constantly figuring out who they can sue next, you know, they're just all over the place with anger and rage, I am going to absorb that style, and that will be my mentoring. So that's not necessarily the most efficient style for developmental growth either.
Got it. Right. So if I have a way aggressive parent, I'm probably going to get an aggressive child.
Right.
Because they're going to pick up and learn that same exact behavior that I'm displaying. They're going to learn. Right.
So you as a parent, the more you keep growing and the more you get your strategies and styles for handling the world, the more your child is going to thrive.
And benefit from that, from what you're doing. So bottom line is really being a good role model is key here again.
Absolutely key. And they'd rather have you as the role model than anyone else.
You know, that's so good to hear, because oftentimes we hear that, you know, they're very involved with the sports or, you know, the the teeny bopper, you know, rock star kind of, you know, that they think that they're the role models. But not necessarily. It's really still all about the parents.
They'll go there, but they really want the parents and the family, and they want to feel family is fun and you feel special in your own family.
I love that. That's great. Now, what about, we're a little short on time. Let's skip right to the technology these days and the text messaging and the gossiping and the rumors and the viciousness of that. What do we do with that?
Well, parents should behave as parents. That means staying in touch with what's going on, limiting the time, limiting the cell phone use, limiting the computer to perhaps in the kitchen so you can really overview what's going on. Not to be a wimp. You are the grown-up, and play the part of being the grown-up. Stay in charge of all of this technology.
I love that so much, because so many times the parents, you know, become the friend, or you know, they don't want to cause the conflict. But really, so stay involved. Keep monitoring those phone calls and those text messages. Don't be afraid to, you know, say, look, let me see what that is. That's okay. And same with the computer. I like that, and I like having it in a central room, so at any time you can kind of pop by and check on what they're doing.
Hidden stuff behind closed doors in bedrooms is not good for young kids.
Never good, because you know, so many predators out there. Very scary thing. So these are great places to start. Thank you so much for being here, Doctor. I really appreciate this.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thanks.